Welfare poets, that's right, singing resistance. This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman with Juan Gonzalez. We're broadcasting on over 850 stations, on Pacifica radio stations, NPR stations, Low Power FM, college and community radio stations, on public access TV and PBS TV stations, and both TV satellite networks, Dish Network Channel 9415, Free Speech TV, 9410 Link TV, and on Direct TV, Channel 375. And we're video and audio podcasts getting at democracynow.org, and our headlines are available in Spanish for any radio station to take, as over 200 are. We are talking to Oliver Stone, who's done this new film that's coming out this week in the United States called South of the Border. Tariq Ali co-wrote South of the Border. And we want to turn to the Brazilian president, Lula da Silva, talking about Brazil.
I learned as a trade unionist that one only respects someone who respects themselves. I personally have no interest in fighting with the United States. The only thing I want is to be treated as equals. When I met with the head of the IMF and paid off the debt in full, he did not want me to pay the debt. He said, don't worry about the money. We can roll it over. Keep the money. We paid off the IMF. We paid off the Paris Club. We do not owe anything to anybody. And now we have $260 billion surplus. I'm truly optimistic.
That was Lula da Silva, the Brazilian president. Oliver Stone uses the clips to talk to us. Now we're going to say that right on the air. What you're saying about Lula da Silva, about Chavez, and how they're covered and how they're censored in various ways.
You go.
Well,
Tariq Ali.
Why does this happen? That's the question we have to ask. Why are these people so hated by the mainstream media in the United States? And the answer is simple, that they present an alternative. What they're doing is using their wealth, especially the oil wealth of Venezuela, to bail out the poor. Here, it's the rich who are bailed out by taxpayers' money. In South America, it's the poor who are bailed out by the wealth which they regard as owned commonly by the people. And they were the first countries to attack neoliberal economics, which collapsed in Wall Street in 2008. The whole Wall Street system collapsed. These guys had been doing it for 10, 15 years previously. So none of them was surprised by the Wall Street crash because of what they'd been doing. So we should look at them as pioneers. Hey, guys, you were the ones who taught us that this could happen in Argentina, in Venezuela, and later Brazil, Ecuador.
And Oliver Stone, we're going to play a clip when you were interviewing Nestor Kirchner, and you see him as a real hero in this, even within the pantheon of these leaders, because he actually stood up directly to George Bush at a summit, an important summit a few years back in Argentina, over this issue of neoliberalism.
Yeah, not only him, but he's also now the president of UNASUR, which is the union of these countries. Is a new deal, and it's not just him, but he was the first one to say no to the Western neoliberal economics, and he actually was. They were predicting a disaster. There'd been like 4 or 5 Argentine presidents right before him, one after the other, and he lasted, and he brought the country out of this horrifying cycle, and it prospered enormously up until recently, where the world recession has put back some of these countries, no question.
Let's take a look at that clip of Kirchner.
Were there any eye-to-eye moments with President Bush that day, that night?
I say it's not necessary to kneel before power. Nor do you need to be rude to say the things you have to say to those who oppose our actions. We had a discussion in Monterrey. I said that a solution for the problems right now, I told Bush, is a Marshall Plan. And he got angry. He said the Marshall Plan is a crazy idea of the Democrats. He said the best way to revitalize the economy is war, and that the United States has grown stronger because of war.
War. You said that.
He said that. Those are his exact words.
Or is he suggesting that South America go to war?
Well, he was talking about the United States. The Democrats have been wrong. All of the economic growth of the United States has been encouraged by the various wars. He said it very clearly. President Bush is... Well, he's only got 6 days, right?
Yes.
Thank God.
That was former President Kirchner. And these comments of President Bush that he says about the United States growing strong through war, I don't think that's ever been reported anywhere.
Well, it goes to the heart of the issue, and I don't, we know it, but we sound jaded when we say it. But why does America go to war? I went to Vietnam. We went right after that. I made 3 movies about it, and then we went back to Panama. We invaded Panama, Grenada. Then we went into Iraq twice, and now Afghanistan. I don't get it, and there has to be a reason for all this this corporate march to war. And the press supports it, and we saw it in Iraq most vividly. It was very depressing to be a Vietnam veteran at that time, and now we're seeing it again, and with Iran and with Afghanistan, this support of this war. There's no sense to it, because we don't resemble the Afghani or the Vietnam average person. Our soldiers have to go. If they're going to go there, they got to stay. That's all there is to it. They got to become citizens of Afghanistan. That's the only way they're ever going to make it. They're not. There's no way we're going to stay, and they know it. And as long as they know we're leaving, I don't see any victory, any exit strategy at all.
Let's go, since you talked about your time in Vietnam, to one of your most well-known films, a clip of Platoon.
What about the f***ing rice and the weapons? Who they for? An LVC! Knows what I'm saying. He understands. Don't you, Pop?
Goddamn right he does.
You bet. You bet.
I mean, he's lying through his teeth. Come on!
Where's the events do you talk? An LVC!
Where's the LVC? Know anything?
An LVC!
Không có phải là Việt Cộng. Ở đây không có là Việt Cộng, không biết không?
He swears he doesn't know anything. He hates the NBA, but they come when they want and they just take the place.
What's the saying?
I don't know. She's going on about why we kill the pigs. They're farmers. They got to make a living. All that kind of.
Gee.
Không phải là Việt Cộng. Ở đây không có là Việt Cộng, không biết không? Tại sao vậy hả? Sao các ông vào tôi? Ông nín đây tôi nói.
Shut up!
Hả?
Ông mi bằng chết.
Mà.